Dela writes, my MVVs, welcome. Report has it that Ebony has gone to the Ooni of Ife, fell on the floor and cried and vowed to leave palace over humiliation. But the most painful part of it is that Kabiyesi did nothing about it. Kabiyesi said nothing about it. Normally, you know, when they meet Kabiyesi, they kneel down and they pray and they say things that you're supposed to say, long live the king, I guess in the Yoruba language. But this time, they said Ebony has gone to meet with the king. And, you know, she has vowed that she's going to leave. And that when she leaves, she is going to live with her son, that the Ooni of Ife will not see that boy again. Over humiliation, that the humiliation is something else. The humiliation is something that she can no longer bear. That she is completely exhausted with the level of humiliation that is being meted on her in the palace that is supposed to be her own home. That most of the women met her in that palace. Even Olori Naomi actually met her in the palace. And to know that, you know, right now she has been so relegated to the back where servants have seen her and pitying her, and everybody seemed to be looking at her like, okay, she has been defeated. It's something that she doesn't want to, that is making her not to want to stay in the palace anymore. Ebony has lamented so much that before even Olori Naomi came into the palace, she was there. As a matter of fact, she is saying that before Wurola came into the palace, she was actually there. That she has known Kabiyesi longer than anybody in that palace. Longer than everybody. As a matter of fact, before now we heard that Blow had known Kabiyesi longer. But Ebony is saying no, that she has known Kabiyesi longer. She knew Kabiyesi when Kabiyesi was still in Lagos as a businessman, running real estate before Kabiyesi migrated to the UK, where he continued with his business and all of that. Kabiyesi was not even king when Ebony knew Kabiyesi, and she's been there through thick and thin, according to her. With Kabiyesi, for her to be treated this way is very bad, and that is the same way the family is lamenting. The family of Ebony has not hidden their disappointment and heartbreak over how their daughter is being treated. According to them, they have become increasingly vocal, insisting that if there is any woman who truly deserves the deepest loyalty from Kabiyesi, it is Ebony. They remind anyone who cares to listen that Ebony has been, you know, with Kabiyesi long before destiny smiled on him, long before the throne of Oduduwa was ever handed to him. According to them, Ebony was there for Kabiyesi when he was still finding his foot before the world, before the power, before the weighty responsibilities of being the Arole Oduduwa. Welcome back to my channel. It's your guy Delaram. I bring you fresh and spicy just from the sources still on the royals. It is not a small something, no. Wahala don't we agbada for this kind matter. They even pointed out that Ebony, you know, knew Kabiyesi long before Wurola came into the picture. The same Wurola whom Kabiyesi married in 2015, right after he ascended the throne. They say Ebony stood by Kabiyesi through seasons of uncertainty and storm that could have broken, you know, lesser union. She prayed with him, fasted with him, encouraged him when all he had was hope and sheer determination. They say it is a grave injustice that after all these years, after pouring her youth and loyalty into the relationship, Ebony is now being sidelined in such a humiliating manner. Her family believe that the Ooni of Ife has chosen to alleviate and lavish extraordinary attention on others, completely ignoring the silent sacrifices Ebony made for him. They say they have watched in pain as a woman who once held such a central place in Kabiyesi's life is now forced to sit quietly in corners, her place in the palace reduced to whisper of former glory. The disrespect is becoming too glaring and their patience is wearing thin. Now, my take on this is that, was it not the same thing they did to Olori Naomi? Naomi's own was worst. Naomi's own was worst. Everybody had an opinion. Everybody was talking, dragging Naomi left and right, insulting her. We are talking about 2015. Let's talk about 2024 December, what they did to Olori Naomi. So what humiliation could be more than that? What humiliation could be more than that? And now they want to complain. Because Naomi doesn't have a family to complain for her. They have even gone so far as to warn that if things continue this way, if the Ooni of Ife does not come to his senses and restore dignity to their daughter, they will not hesitate to pull Ebony out of the marriage. They believe she deserves far better than to be treated like an afterthought, especially after all the years of standing by the Ooni of Ife. Meanwhile, the Ooni of Ife has maintained a deep, unsettling silence. He does not defend himself, nor does he make any promises to amend the situation. In fact, his distant demeanor suggests he may have emotionally checked out already. The palace insiders whisper that he simply no longer seems interested, that whatever deep affection once, born for Ebony has become a cold ember. The silence cut deeper than harsh whatever could, leaving Ebony broken in spirit. She moves about the palace like a shadow of herself, her eyes hollow, her smile forced and flirting for a woman who once wore joy like a crown. It is heartbreaking to watch. Those close to her say she weeps in private, clutching memories of a love that now feels like a cruel mirage. And though she tries to keep a brave face in public, in events, and try to smile here and there, but that is as far as it goes. Like each time she comes back to the palace, things in the palace are completely different from the way it is made to be perceived from the outside. They said it is not a small thing that is happening in the palace of the Ooni of Ife, as Ebony has been crying that it does not matter how much the world will laugh at her, because she knows that the world will laugh at her. If things do not change, she's certainly going to leave the palace. She's going to go away and never come back. And should she go, she will never return again. And they say gospel again is also crying so bad. One of those things that have broken the heart of gospel so much is the fact that everything seems to be working for Queen Naomi and not them anymore. And I see why they will continue to regret that the full moon ritual worked, because this is not business as usual. These things, it's not looking good at all, because Ooni of Ife seem to be focused on just two women. Dr. Lizzie and Olori Naomi. I'm going to bring you more update. Do not forget that these are all alleged rumors, unverified information making the rounds on social media and should not be seen as fact.